What is up, everyone? Hello, and welcome back to the OWC World Cup 2023. We have had an incredible match previously between Poland and Australia, following up by a dominant victory from South Korea against the United Kingdom. But the next match here is another one that has potential to be one of the best matches of the week here. Russia against the Philippines. Seed number 5 against seed number 4. These teams are really stacked, and I cannot wait to see what this pool will bring up in terms of the challenges that these teams will be facing against each other. I'm Sad Shiva, and I am joined by the wonderful Aza. What is up, Aza?
Hey. I mean, I'm so excited for this one, too. Both of these teams here been talked about a lot, always, on the up, very slowly but very surely, most notably Philippines, I think. Year by year, starting to be talked as a top contender, but I think Russia falling behind a little bit in people's expectations, kind of proving us wrong with some of the performances so far. So very excited to see how both of these match up, considering all of the other matches that we've seen this week. I think this one is going to deliver as hard, if not even harder.
I cannot wait, honestly. I mean, if we saw Australia pull a crazy upset against Poland, those were two teams that were so well matched despite the seeding differences, man. Australia pulled the upset. I'm looking forward to seeing what these teams can do, because this is an even closer clash than we saw in the last few matches here. These guys are literally neck and neck in seeding, Russia being 1 seed up over the Philippines. Outside of that, they are so close, so evenly matched. I can't wait, honestly. These teams do have a few separate individual differences here in terms of their respective strengths. I think Philippines overall are going to be stronger on the hidden and some of the no-mod statistics. I think this team is a little bit more well-rounded on the no-mod, but Russia definitely have an edge in the hard rock and the mechanics. I'm looking to see what Russia will do. They've got some great players in there. I think we should be really looking out for Stroll and Welter, who are two of the superstar Russian tournament players in this team. Chaconi as well, a staple player for Russia. This team's got a great set of players overall. And the Philippines, I think they got a different kind of style with their team. I think they have a god-tier 3-man core of Hyok, Henry, and Nathan Ram, with a great set of players to fill in for those skill sets for the 4th player.
Hyok and the Hyoks. I mean, I don't think they really need any sort of introduction. I think they've, at this point, made a little bit of a name for themselves. And we are seeing some of the bans. I think some of them are a little weird on the client here. Let's see. What are the actual bans? We've got Russia banning Hidden 2 and Nomad 1. And Philippines taking out DT3 and Hard Rock 2. So you're saying you think Russia having the advantage on Hard Rock, Philippines looking to take away some of that, I think, in a pretty smart ban from them.
Yeah, this Hard Rock 2 is quite old style gyrometric precision. It's very comfortable for those who are able to play Hard Rock maps. So I'm not surprised to see Philippines get rid of that, along with the raw double time mechanics. I mean, having Russia with their general core, along with Din, who is the superstar time mechanics player for this team, no surprise to see them get rid of that. But Philippines are going to be going in with, I think, their best first pick they could go for here. Free mod for the rhythm tapping heavy map. This is perfect for a team like Philippines, who are phenomenal on control.
Yeah, and I mean, this is also relatively one of the easier maps in the pool. I think most players will have found. It's jumped around a little bit when we tried to pull this, but a lot of people commonly saying, it's fairly relaxing. Even though it acts as the rhythm map here, it is pretty straightforward, so it is a safe first pick for the Philippines here, just looking to get the nerves off and relax a little bit. This might be pretty much the only map in the pool that allows them to do that. So I'm kind of curious in terms of mods, though, who we're going to be seeing. I mean, both teams have so many different players that can fill so many different roles. I think Philippines, most notably, just being super flexible in who plays what. What do you think?
In my mind, I'm thinking with Zone Louise being around in here, Hyok 2048, I'm suspecting him to potentially be on the Hard Rock for this team. Free mod rules imply that you must have a Hard Rock and a hidden player. You can overmod, you can use more than one. You cannot use Flashlight or Easy, but you can kind of alternate between Hard Rock, and just hidden. I'm suspecting to see Zone Louise, assuming he stays, because he just leave the lobby. We could also see Hyok on that, because Hyok is very, very good on the Hard Rock as well. For Hidden,
Imposter.
honestly, it's a mixed bag here. You could see... Oh, wait, hold on. Impulse's here? Okay, maybe he's going to be on the Hard Rock. Oh, sorry, can't say I know too sure. For Russia, though, I think it's quite easy. I think we're going to see Markram on the Hidden, and we're very definitely going to see Chaconi on the Hard Rock. That's my guess.
I'm never too sure of these because so far we've seen a lot of teams kind of change around what they're prioritizing in the free mod because, you know, there is quite a difficulty difference when you are taking one of the mods on some of these. So a lot of teams have been opting to put their strongest players on no mods, even though you would accept them as modded players and even expect them to be there as well. But we'll see if that's the case here as we start getting into the first map, the Russian Federation versus the Philippines. You are right, for the Russian side, it is Markram on the Hidden, Chaconi on the Hard Rock. We'll be seeing Enry on the Hidden, which is also kind of to be expected.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, there is exclamation mark Hyok if you are unsure of which player is which, but I'll list them quickly for you now as we get into the start of this map. Nathan Ram is Hyok 43, Hyok 44 is the real Hyok. Enry is Hyok 45, Xylos 46, Miltiism 47, Zone Louise 48, Impauster 49, and Mickey 50. On this roster here for the Philippines right now, you've got Enry, Nathan Ram, the real Hyok, and Impauster here. And going into this little intro section here, this map is really rhythmic heavy. You've got lots of 1/3, lots of weird rhythm changes, and lots of really awkward tapping sections. I think it wraps up, especially towards the later stage, where you get some 1/6 bursts that can really trip you up if your control isn't ready. And going into this early intro section here, Russia are actually holding on to a good lead. That early drip from Markram, seeming not to struggle too hard for him. It is going to be Impulse the first to drop for the Philippines, so that recovery from Markram alone is going to give Russia that tiny lead, but it really isn't by much. But you're going to have to hope for a drop from Russia soon, because that recovery could be all that we see. This map is really short, nearly TV size, and there goes Nathan Ram.
That's a big one. That right there is a big one. I mean, early on, the misses didn't really matter, but now the lead is going to start to flip over a lot, and this map doesn't have that much that you can miss on, but okay, everyone is just collapsing right now. No remaining combos on the side of Philippines here, and it's just Scroll, and he's down as well, so no one's really keeping up with this harder section of the map here, and Russia is just going to keep the lead here at a very, very comfortable 400k near the end of this. And that's a break point to open the match here.
Yeah, Russia kicking it off.
Hoping for.
Yeah, Russia have been kicking it off pretty good so far. A good start for them. 400k is a pretty strong lead. Granted, though, this map really does spike towards the later stages. That's where you're going to see the most amount of drops, the harshest rhythm change control sections, and that is leading to the Philippines unfortunately being the ones to crack first before we could see that fall apart from Russia. Chaconi with an S rank is very, very nice. 750k is a beautiful score, and Russia immediately going to bounce back with one of their strongest picks, the double time 2.
It's pretty funny considering pretty much everyone in the lobby just collapsed within the time span of like 5 seconds. So those early misses were actually all the differences, funnily enough. But we're going to get into a completely different map here with a 100% stamina focus here. Not surprised at all that Russia wants to play, you know, these kind of maps. They tend to really like their speed picks and all, but that's definitely not to count out Philippines, as they have also shown that they can definitely, you know, fight back on these as well.
Yeah, this is definitely heavily favored for Russia. They've got some really strong tapping mechanics players. Of course, you're going to see Din come in. He is probably the staple guy to look out for Russia. He is their main heavy tapping mechanics player, double time as well. Philippines do have some threatening players. Of course, you can't count out Enry and Miltiism. Those are going to be the two players that I'm looking out for to perform really well. But doesn't seem like Miltiism is actually going to be into this one. It's actually going to be Enry, Hyok, and Xylos, and Zone Louise. Okay, Zone Louise is going to be in there, but not Miltiism. I see. All right. I'm still getting used to the names, people. I'm still getting used to the names. I have to look back on the screen every now and again to remind myself. Oh, yeah.
Listen, we did this bit for a couple of weeks where we actually called them all Hyoks, but it's over now. They're getting reverted.
Yeah, I'm more the person to try and get the names right, just so I can remember the players and who's who. Otherwise, it just becomes impossible to track and understand the storylines amongst any of these players. But yeah, if you guys are struggling at all, exclamation mark Hyok, get yourselves all the information that you need. And those in that regard, you know who's who. You'll be able to follow who's playing what and who's popping off. You got to give credit to the right player at the end of the day. But yeah, this the DT2 very, very much leaning in favor of Russia. this is one of their strong skill sets that you want to abuse against a team like the Philippines. Of course, Philippines have a good mechanics team. It's not to say that they're going to struggle on this. It's just more that Russia are exceptionally good. And Philippines are decent, but they don't really compose nearly as big of a threat.
I mean, Ciccone on Din here, I think, are strongly expected to have a pretty big impact, I would say. More so than any other player in the lobby.
Intro section, very, very early stages into this map. It's not really too dangerous here. Everybody's still looking good, but the longer this map runs, the more difficult it's going to be. Those really long death streams are what could lead to a drop, and it's going to be Din, the first to go down here for Russia on that long stream, man. That is going to be where we're going to see loads of drops. Overall here, it's going to be pretty tame with the burst, but those giant long death streams are going to be where we will see everybody go down. And it is just going to be Din alone to drop here. But it's going to be...
Right at the end.
Oh my lord, no. Xylos dropping just at the end of that stream, evening out the combo advantage and giving Russia a small lead with that recovery from Din. There's still a little bit of time left for that to flip back into Russia's favor. They've still got time to potentially see a drop from Russia into this next verse section, which could lead to a drop if the death stream is about to come up, and that's going to be really scary. Any drop, stamina's dropping, lots of act to go down, but no combos. Russia are going to start pushing this now ahead from that recovery thanks to Din.
It's crazy how straining this map can be. It's only 2 minutes and a half, but I think this goes over 2,000 combo, and we're going to be halfway here, all tied up. It's just, Scroll actually going to be dropping one of the other full combos on the side of Russia, and Welter as well at the end there. That's a miss we see so many times. It's this last note of a streamy section on this map here. So Philippines being able to take advantage of this a little bit, but that's going to change a little bit with Enry finding a miss as well.
It's looking really good right now. It is just Hyuk against Ciccone. And you can notice here a little bit of a struggle in shakes here from Hyuk. You're going to have to really hope for him to come back. He's been a staple player for this team, returning from a long break with Philippines celebrating with this collab. That's how you know he's the real deal. A triple miss there from, not actually a double miss from the Philippines, but a single miss from Din.
It's
but
getting
as long
close.
as Hyuk keeps this going, there's a good chance the ending section about to come through. The recoveries from Russia might start helping. It's 30k and starting to close in.
It's going down.
Hyuk is holding for his life, and there's not much he can do. Is there enough time? There's just
it's just the ending.
There's not much density left.
I think they have the time,
God.
right?
No way. 5k.
Oh my god, 5k.
If there was like five more notes, that would have been it.
Like
wow.
a spinner at the end or something, but no breathing room there. Philippines managed to hold on just barely by the skin of their teeth, despite Ciccone's best efforts. Their 1000s on the full combo. That's kind of insane, actually.
Yeah, that is a ridiculous score from Ciccone. I mean, whoa, that's a hard. This map is really tough to maintain accuracy. These long death streams are not only hard for the stamina requirement, but you have to maintain that BPM consistently. It's 225 BPM. It's slightly off compared to your standard like 200, 240, 230. 225 is a bit of that awkward middle ground where you have to chap just a little bit faster than your regular 220, which could lead to a struggle with that if those long streams end up kind of making you a little confused. You know, the long streams can lead to an act drop if you're not too focused enough on holding on. But that's not going to be
exactly the kind of map that a player like Ciccone and like all the other speed players and stuff, that's exactly what they want. It's not long, it doesn't stop, it just strains you the whole way, and if you're really good at that, I think it really shows. Their big act difference, unfortunately, it's just not enough there. Combo is just very slightly in favor of the Philippines. So 2 break points now, and still a lot left open. Nothing really banned out in particular here. Pretty like wide variety of maps. We're going to see Hard Rock 1. This map has been pretty explosive as we've been seeing it. It is such a wild experience.
This one is exciting for me because I know on paper, Russia have a very comfortable Hard Rock set, especially with Welter around. He's going to be someone you're going to look out for Russia. But for the Philippines, man, the mapping style in of itself, very controlling, very frightening, but kind of, I don't really know how to explain it too well in detail, Aza, but I think you know what I mean. It's not it's not your typical Hard Rock consistency, despite it being so long. This is a scary, sporadic, spontaneous map.
It's such a unique map. It's really, I think it's really hard for teams as well to figure out whether they're good at this or not, because there's not a lot of precedent, you know? especially with the slots kind of changing a lot and not being consistent. There hasn't really been a map like this so far this World Cup, and not many, you know, in recent years in tournaments as well. So teams don't have a lot to go off of in terms of information about whether or not this is a good pick for them. So maybe Philippines did a little bit of the research here and it's going to work out for them, but it's just such an uncommon map with so many different skill sets in this one. It's still somehow a very popular pick though. A lot of teams have been enjoying this one.
Yeah, this map, despite being extremely difficult, has been known to be quite a popular pick here. Many teams leading into this one. So I'm not surprised to see this lent into here for the Philippines. I think it's still a little bit of a risky pick because Russia do have, on paper, a more comfortable hard rock roster. But Philippines are no slouch, especially with this mapping style. Terrifying control heavy tech with, I think, its most notable aspect being its really scary jump scare sliders and its out of nowhere burst stream patterns. There's a lot of control, lots of different sections in this map that you have to really practice for. If you are sight reading this, you are making a mistake. You have to prepare for this to set a good score.
Oh yeah.
Philippines, they're whipping out a star-studded roster here of Enri, Hyok keeping it here for the Philippines, along with Nathan Ram and Zone Louise.
Oh, a little bit of struggles at the very beginning here though, but I think this map kind of has like that transition period where you need to adjust a little bit here.
Yeah, that intro part's kind of been infamous for having combos dropped at the start, because it's very much like straight in your face, straight in there, gives you a little taste of the 5-course meal you have with this map. I mean, it's a toughie, man. And yeah, in this intro section, it's looking pretty good so far for both teams. I mean, everyone's kind of dropping. We're not seeing any major established advantage, but the Philippines definitely taking the early lead so far. Despite that drop there from Zone Louise, the rest of the Philippines seem to have built quite well. They hit that 1/3 section, but Russia are still going to be that big threat. Zone Louise is going to drop, but that's not the combo you want gone if you're looking at the Philippines to drop here. Russia are slowly climbing back in this with their recoveries, but it's going to be a little bit of a slow climb here, assuming the Philippines hold on to the next sections.
Just looking at the accuracies, you can tell that at least Enri is feeling very comfortable with this one, but this is just the kind of map that can still just make anybody miss at any time. There's so many different parts of this, different skill sets. A lot of players are going to be struggling at very different parts, so what ends up really mattering so far that we've been seeing when this is played in this stage is just finding any part of this map where a player is able to build a combo for a long time. That's going to be so valuable here. So these FCs might not last forever, but just the fact that they're going into some of these harder sections with a combo at all. Enri dropping one of those full combos though on a slider break, and Ciccone not too long after as well. So it's just Hyok here maintaining this 50k advantage on the side of Philippine with a sole big combo. I don't even think it's a full combo, but it's pretty close if anything. I think he missed in the first 10 combos or so, and only Gamer really on the other side to match it. So
yeah, it's been really even here. Everybody's kind of having a mutual struggle here outside of both Hyok and Gamer. The only two combos for both respective teams trying to keep this alive. But with this genuine accuracy lead here, I think the Philippines are kind of taking it along with a few recoveries as well. Early stage combo lead especially, giving them a lead. There goes Gamer. That's your big combo for Russia gone. You've still got some recoveries from Ciccone, but overall, man, it's all Hyok who's keeping this lead alive for the Philippines, climbing up. Jump scare slides to come through. The scariest part of the map here is where we're just going to see suddenly out of nowhere weird 1/3 jump patterns along with those freakishly difficult sliders. But Hyok holds through all of it. Final Ki to come through here for the Philippines. You've got the top recovery being from Enri, outshining Ciccone, the biggest combo on the side of Russia. As long as this maintains for the Philippines, as long as there's no insane fall apart and Russia hold on, Philippines have got this.
It's looking good for them here, I think. I mean, it's so late in the map, and even if Hyok were to make a mistake here, I think they've just secured it already. 200k, there's just nothing on the side of Russia to come back from that, and he does happen to break at the end here. This has also been so common. These last part of the map breaks have been super common, but I think they've pulled in the work already. I don't think there's enough time for a 200k lead to come back, even though Ciccone has been recovering pretty well, but there's just not going to be enough time here, I think.
No, unfortunately, I don't think there will be. There is a little bit of a top shuffle left, but we're getting very close to the end of the map. It's just Desiccate for Russia. to try and build something, but 130,000 score is way too far, especially with how far late into the map we are. This is the little outro section, but Philippines will secure it with a beautiful set of combos towards the early stage and a phenomenal build up there from Hyok into the ending of the map. Russia just couldn't keep up.
That's really all the difference, man. That Hyok combo, like, everyone has a very similar score here. You know, it's all A ranks, all decent accuracies, all a couple of misses. But just the sole difference in here is just that 1200 combo that Hyok managed to put forward. That 200k point lead there. It's all that really matters on a map like this. So a pretty, you know, maybe a well-researched pick, if not a well-played pick for them. And we'll have to see what Russia likes to go for. The speed pick didn't, or rather the stamina pick didn't work out so much, but it's not like that wasn't a blowout or anything. That was just 5k difference. So there's still some more that we can see from them. I think most notably Nomad 3 that they might be looking at. That's been, yep, there it is. A very, very popular pick. I think this map has had presence in all matches so far, except for 2. So for all of those countries that have those speed lineups, it's just, you know, it's very, very comfortable territory for them here. I mean, if you're thinking of a speed country, you're definitely thinking of Russia.
Yeah, Russia keeping their core strengths in it for them here. But I can't help but think Russia had to be a little bit worried, man. They lost their next strongest double time mechanics pick. And Philippines are aware now that they've got some wiggle room into their core disadvantage here. They've got a chance to bring it back. They've got chances to just slightly excel just a little bit further ahead, which is a scary prospect there for Russia, especially when Philippines outshining them on the hard rock. There's a few notable strengths here from Russia that have been kind of whittled down into more of a close, even matchup here, which is a bit frightening if you're a fan of Russia, because the advantages over the Philippines have already been kind of established in their picks. So yeah, it's a scary thing for Russia, but if they take this Nomad 3, it's going to be dead. It's going to be back to even square. It's going to be pretty chill moving on into the later stages of the match once people start bringing out their picks. Russia did get a breakpoint in the first map, so it's safe to say they've still got something in them. I think one of the most exciting maps I'm looking forward to is that Nomad 4. Both of them have set some brilliant scores on the flow tech heavy maps. I think this Nomad 4 is no exception. Also, I'm sorry, man, I just want the map to be played. It's one of the best, one of my favorite maps in this pool, man. I love it. I love all of the OWC custom, including this Nomad 3. OWC original from Sedosis. This is a, I'm sure we've talked about already, is a 240 BPM tab and control mechanics. Ace.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
Russia. Yeah.
I'm still waiting for one of these teams to pick Nomad 5. Like, someone's got to do it. Someone. It still hasn't been played. It's the only map so far in this pool that hasn't been played. It's not too surprising because it is CS8. You know, we gotta mention that, but still unplayed. This one, on the other hand, again, just extremely comfortable for everyone here. I think both of these countries not going to have too many issues listing 4 players that can play this. But it is still quite demanding, very, very similar to that DT2. It's short, but not a lot of breaks. It kind of just goes, and it strains extremely hard. So we'll have to see if the result will be similar here. Maybe a little bit of a redemption for those players who had some unfortunate misses on this one. And early on, a little bit of an accuracy lead, I guess, for Russia. Well, considering Xyloz did find one of those early misses, but it's very early on. I don't think it's going to matter too much for now. There's still so much map to go.
There's still a good few amount of combos left. That is going to be Hyok to go down for the Philippines. So Russia are still going to be keeping it. That, yeah, indeed. That one will definitely matter. This map is consistently difficult as well. This does not let you go. There is, I think, a one small kind of slow-ish section, but outside of that, it's complete unfilled. So far, it's still Russia keeping it ahead for them. Going to this little slowdown section. This is the only slowdown section we're going to get up until the ending, which ramps up the difficulty here. Especially with the longer streams. You've already seen the really fast high PPM bursts that consistently come at you. This map is going to buff that even harsher with really fast and long streams as well. Higher length, higher density.
Right here.
Down goes Hyok. And down goes Xyloz. Scroll and Welter are going to trade it though. But Russia still have their 2 strong FCs. It is Nathan Ram and Enri to still keep it alive. But this general combo recovery here from Russia are going to keep building it ahead. Those drops, there's the drop from Nathan Ram, and down goes Henry. The last two big combos for the Philippines are going to go down. Russia,
there you go.
Going to stay alive in this one, and they will even out the playing field 2-2.
That's what you'd expect a Russia speed pick to look like. I mean, Ciccone and Din, extremely comfortable on that. Look at those accuracies. That's kind of crazy, and that's just hard to match. For Philippines, they did have a valiant effort. Honestly, pretty good scores all around, but again, you're up against probably the or one of the best speed players in the tournament, right? So it's a little tough to match up to that. So we're going to be up all even 2-2 now. The breakpoints are done, and I also think that's all of the speed picks being gone. So Russia's going to have to start looking for something else here, because I think DT3 has been banned out as well. And that's most of the big ones really that people are looking at for speed.
Yeah,
wouldn't be too surprised to see some other DT maps though. I think Spiral 2005 also has an absurd presence. This stage, everyone wants to play that map. I think that's also played in every match except 2, I think. So lots still open here.
Yeah, I think it's clear to know which ones are extremely popular to be playing. Spiral 2005 being one of them. It's very control heavy. It is still very tapping mechanics heavy with lots of speedy sections and doubles to it, but I wouldn't say it's less of the stamina, raw stamina or speed. It's not like the other DTs, but it still does have that fast requirement. But I think Philippines can keep up with. I think Russia may be keeping that in the bag, maybe playing chicken with it, hoping Philippines pick it for them so they can use what picked of their own. You still have that double time 1 available. Granted, it's not as tap mechanics heavy, but it is still a comfortable double time map that Russia can excel on. But it seems like Philippines are going to be running into the free mod aim map here, free mod 1.
Honestly, we haven't been seeing that one too much. I think people have been kind of scared off this one. It is actually a pretty hard map, all things considered. 7.3 no mod here. I think that with Hard Rock on this would be the highest star rating map of this round, which is very unassuming because the song is just very, relaxing compared to everything else that's here present in this pool. But I think that kind of contributes to it. I think it's hard for teams to field a full roster that's comfortable on this one, so maybe that's why we haven't seen it too much. But Philippines is definitely one of those teams that I think could do it. Like I said, for free mods, so well-rounded.
Yep, this free mod 1 is some high BPM jump aim with, I think in particular, one pattern that I want to focus on is that really scary 1/3 stream guitar solo section into the next half of the map. I'm expecting that to cause a lot of breaks and a lot of score locks for the FCs that will be there before the section shatters it entirely. That's the section that I'm looking forward to, but outside of that, it is general, consistent 3-minute long. Don't let the timer deceive you. The drain time for this map, in other words, the timing that the map is going to be actually played on outside of outros and breaks, is 3 minutes and 13 seconds. Still consistent, and it's still quite comfortable for your no-mod players as well. CS 3.6, AR 9.6, decently fast and good, not too dense for your fellow no-mod and hidden players, which makes this the more comfortable map, but still, its mapping style and its aim requirement is really, really tough. You're going to be having Hyuk and Henry for the Philippines sticking to their staple mods here, and on the side of the Russian Federation, you see Ciccone on the hard rock and Markram on the hidden. Predictable mods for both of these teams, Aza.
Yeah, it's pretty much exactly what you said when we first started talking about free mods here. Most notably, I think on this map, though, you really need to have those no-mod performances, right? So definitely looking towards those. You can kind of be excused if you have a lower score with a mod here, but with the no-mod players, it's kind of super vital on a map like this to be able to keep up. And it is one of the lengthier maps that we have in the pool. We've just played all these very short 2-minute maps, a lot of very dense, straining speed picks, so now we're kind of going the complete opposite, more focusing on a little bit of consistency here. I think it's without the pause time at the beginning, this isn't 4 minutes long. I think it's 3.5. It's still a very long map of just kind of the same thing over and over, right? So really gotta have the consistency on point here. Every single miss is going to matter a lot, especially when this match has been, up until that last map, pretty much as close as it gets.
Oh, there's the first drop. Hold on. The last drop we had was from Markram at the very early section. This is the first break that's going to really matter here. Ciccone is going to go down with the hard rock. It's going to be traded by Henry on that little stream section, but the Philippines still have it. Hold on a second. No, Nathan Ram's going to go down as well. That's an advantage big enough for the Russia, but Welter and Markram are going to go down afterwards. This entire section is tripping a lot of combos for both of these teams. Gamer, the last man standing for Russia, and on the side of the Philippines, you still got Hyuk and Zone Louise to keep it alive, but down they go as well. Everybody but Gamer is dropping, and Gamer will keep the combo alive.
It's Vacman time here. It's just definitely one of those performances that need to happen. The very comfortable Nomon. He's just drawing some emotes as well. It's just going to be slowly dragging that over here as long as they can keep it up. I mean, there's not really any sort of combo on anyone else here to really, you know, rival that. So it is just entirely up to them to show up here and then take another breakpoint for Russia here potentially.
Can Gamer hold on just a little bit longer? We're going into another diff strike. Big jump section to go down. Zone Louise drops, but Gamer still holds. Their eyes must all be locked on this singular guy because he's going to be the one to give Russia the flipper that they need. Final key ice section to come through. Last core of the map. Markram's going to go down, but no drops from the Philippines. Welter goes down as well, but as long as Gamer keeps this combo going, Russia is still going to extend to the lead. His combo is completely and utterly uncontested. Not even the full combined combo of the Philippines can stop Gamer from having an advantage over everybody else. As long as he keeps on going, man, Russia are going to be too far ahead for the Philippines to come back from here. You've got that recovery from Takoni on the hard rate of 300 combo. But again, I can't talk about it. It's all Gamer here. It's just him.
There's just nothing you can do about that.
Section, that's it. Gamer! You are a star, good sir, hitting everything here. And he's going to be the one to single-handedly, literally single-handedly, give Russia a very good breakpoint.
Oh, that's such an important carry, too. If you look at the scores all around here, other than Gamer, Philippines, I think, have higher scores than every other player on Russia, if not everyone except for just one, maybe, but entirely just on them to bring the score difference here. Vacman, Gamer, with a solid performance. And something that Russia is going to be pretty happy to have there. Another break pick, and they're out of speed picks, right? So they have to start looking at some other stuff here. And I think having the ability to be able to take one of Philippines' pick here is going to be very, very vital.
Yeah, honestly, such an impressive outlying score there from Gamer. The rest of Russia just scraping over 500,000 score. I think if we were to give Gamer the average score to the rest of Russia, Philippines would have definitely won by about 200,000 score. So that singular FC holding on past that halfway mark, which led to a lot of drops, was absolutely invaluable. You Russian fans out there are praising this man, I'm sure. Praying him like he's the next coming. Because God, he was a beast on that one. And he's going to give Russia a very valuable breakpoint here. Russia now have good room to lean into another potential pick. As you mentioned before, Aza Spiral is possible. We could see the double time one as well. Are there any other maps that Russia could be certain to pick into here? Because I think Philippines are a bit more of a well-rounded squad. I think the rest of the picks are a bit more either of a toss-up or a one-sided side for the Philippines here. I think we're going to be seeing the DT fall the most, and it will be double time for picked here for Russia, as you predicted earlier.
Yeah, any of these picks that have a lot of mechanics, they're going to tend to prefer, and that's probably the one that has the most remaining. DT1 I would assume be their next pick if they end up picking it at all. Everything else remaining in this pool, except other maybe like Fremod 3, I guess is a stream map, but it's not a very conventional one, being an AR9 and pretty old here. I don't really think Russia is going to want to go for that one, so they do opt for this DT4 here. We've seen this map so much on stream today and all of yesterday, so hopefully it's not the first time you're seeing this absolute banger of an alt DT pick, but you know, a decent amount of finger control on this one, but it's not too much. I think it's still fairly approachable in relation to how some of these other skill sets in this pool are going to be. You know, a lot of teams are going to have a hard time still filling on like a low AR hidden, or maybe that Nomad 2 reading map that we have this week, but this one I think very, very approachable, even if a player doesn't really typically play this kind of thing. So we've been seeing a lot of these DT teams opt for this one as well, so yeah, I think it's a good one for Russia here. I think it's looking good for them.
There's double time 4, 210 BPM, 2 minutes long, decently short. It is extreme double time finger control, lots of doubles into quads, consistently difficult as well. So stamina might be a thought here, because here's the thought process, right? Is that when you're playing maps with control, you have to be a lot more precise, which means that you're probably going to have to tap a little bit harder to make sure you get just the right hit here, because this control is really, really tough. And with that, if you are going to be consistently dealing with these constant unforgiving doubles into quads, into triples, into really funky control sections, you're going to have to struggle a little bit, and maybe stamina could be a tiny thing to take into account into the very late stage, but I don't think so with the caliber of these players. I don't think it might be too big of an issue. Maybe with the earlier stage teams, we could see it more, but I think this team, both teams will be decently comfortable here. For Russia, Jaconi, Squirrel, Welter, and Desuke. And for the Philippines, Enri and Hyok still running it back for the two dynamic duos with Nathan Ram and Zone Louise making the
Xylaws actually.
Oh, is it? Oops.
Yeah, I think the notes were wrong. We've been fooled. The 48 is Xylaws, I believe.
Wait, is it actually? Are you sure?
Yeah, no, but I checked.
Oh my lord. Hold on. I need to check now myself. I have to check now. Okay.
We can never be too sure. These silly pranksters are their names.
Have I been massively pranked? I have been pranked! I have been pranked! I thought it was... Okay, oopsie daisy. I'm so sorry, Zone Louise. You are not the one playing. My apologies. It was Xylos the entire time. On my notes, I had Zone Louise on here, but I guess it wasn't. I guess it was Xylos. Oh well, let's get into the map, shall we? So far, so good here for Russia. They're keeping a good four-way FC, with Xylos being the only one to struggle here for the Philippines, breaking multiple times past this first halfway mark here. The rest of the Philippines looking really good, especially in Enri holding on the top accuracy. Desuke and Welter both going to drop. Xylos may drop it, but there's not the combo you want going for the Philippines. Scroll as well to go down. A complete collapse here for the Russian Federation. It's just Jaconi to keep it alive here. But outside of that, you are facing three daunting FCs from the perfect trifecta of the Philippines.
A little bit of an unexpected result here to see so many misses on that section, and Philippines managed to hold through. And I mean, that's such a strong position to be in here. I mean, it's just going. You have such a nice cushion with those three FCs, and it's just Jaconi on the other side without really the ability to do anything. So despite everyone else is recovering pretty well, it's just a little too late here as Philippines, again, looking to take another break point here. So Russia might have to be rethinking maybe what picks they want to have left, considering Philippines have been fighting back a lot on these DT picks, right? DT2 went to them earlier, you know, very close, but it did go to them earlier, and this time it's not as close. Philippines here, 766,000 point difference on a break point. That's crazy.
If there is something that this map has taught us, man, is that every control team that aren't primarily mechanics will still do really well on a map like this.
Oh yeah.
And by golly, did Philippines drive that case even deeper, if not 6 foot deep into the ground of everyone's minds here? Because Philippines are going to completely destroy Russia on this map. I mean, great scores from all three players here.
Look at the scores on the Russian squad, though. I mean, 2 misses on the same pattern, and then 2 misses on the same pattern on Welter as well, and Desuke as well with 1 slider break. Like, that could have been such a big difference here, considering, I mean, Xylaws on the other side was consistently getting misses here and there, right? So it's just those few that are going to make the difference here, and I think when both of the teams are just this good, that's always going to come down to that, right? It's just, I think Russia lost the RNG on this one. It's a little bit of an unlucky play. And Philippines here to take advantage of it with a crazy performance. And now, what's left? I think Philippines here have so many good picks, I think, in their favor. But for Russia, not as much.
For the Philippines here, I think you've got a few decent options here. I think there are a few gambly ones as well. Like, I'm not sure if you want to pick into the non-mod 4 against Russia, because both these teams are really good. It's one of those maps that you're going to play chicken on. If the rate of this match, where we're going to see consistent back-to-back breakpoints, we're going to see consistent, evenly matched scores, I think we're probably going to see that non-mod 4 be picked last. But it is going to be non-mod 2 here
like
picked for the Philippines. I like this pick. I think this one is it's a scary rhythm control map, but I think this is one of the good bread and butter maps for Philippines. I think I am a little bit worried because Russia do have some really threatening players on here. Of course, you have to talk about Markram. He's going to be the guy to look out for the most on this map.
I mean, I think I really like this on the Philippines. If you look at who's been doing super well on the side of Russia, I don't think it's players that are particularly looking good on this kind of pick, right? So Philippines, on the other hand, are just going to come in here with Enri and Miggy, and you know, that's going to look, I think, a lot different, considering both of these players have been doing so far. I mean, Miggy hasn't played yet, but that's kind of all they play, supposedly. So definitely looking towards them. Number 50.
Yeah, Miggy
Who
is
comes
the.
in on the side of Russia here? I mean,
Outside of Markram.
outside of Markham, yeah, it's
Outside of
not a
Markham.
lot of people that. I think a lot of these people are going to be doing pretty okay on a pick like this if it was hidden or something, but
If I'm going to.
not really.
If I'm going to make a guess, I think we're gonna see Handsome Me, Scroll, and Gamer into this. That's my guess.
Yeah.
But for the Philippines, man, this roster's really, really good. Of course, Megan is coming in. This guy is the staple reading gimmick player for the Philippines. Every single gimmicky reading map that you will see the Philippines pick, he will be in for that.
Din
And
comes in.
Got Henry and Hyuk. Again, man, these guys do not stop. Nathan Ram as well. This three-man core is just consistent nearly every single map we see of them. And for Russia, I was right with Scroll and Gamer, but it seems it's going to be Din here instead of Handsome Me.
I wonder how that's gonna go, because if anybody on this team is known for like mechanics, that's just going to be Din, right? I don't think I've ever seen Din play a map like this. So this is pretty new territory. You know, this map can be kind of memorized a little bit, so maybe they'll do well, but I think this is going to be pretty new territory here. Could also just be, you know, fourth player syndrome on the side of Russia on this one. We'll just have to see. Maybe there's a hidden surprise here, but it's pretty scary for them going against this kind of roster in the Philippines on a map like this.
Yeah, what makes this map really tough, it has so many things coming at you at once. You've got the overlapping reading, you've got the slightly lower AR at 8.5, and the constant rhythm changes. This is like one of those like Ekuro Worst HR player kind of maps. That's how you know it really doesn't let you go with the kind of difficulty here. When you identify this map with specific reading gimmick stars, that's how you know this map is just a whole different beast in its challenge here. But
well, this is going about as we'd expect, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say it is going as what we expect, especially with Din unfortunately not doing too well here. You still have Mark from the Scroll looking good, Gamer with despite that early break looking good in the recovery, but outside of that, the Philippines looking really good with their three-man core. It's actually gonna be Mickey the one who's been struggling more here, not able to get any combos on the board with these patterns. But outside of that, man, Philippines look great.
I mean, if there's ever a time to struggle on this one, I mean, Miggy's first map being played, maybe some of the nerves, but doesn't matter when the rest of your team is just kind of putting on a clinic here. I mean, the Philippines players, all of those Hyoks, man, looking so comfortable on this. And you look on the other side, and Markram's there to fight back, but, you know, who else? It's kind of a little bit of a one-man army on Russia here. I don't think they, I don't think they should take it too harshly, though. I think when you're this far disadvantaged on this style of pick, it's totally acceptable to go down like that. So that's a point that you can give the Philippines and kind of look towards what happens next. But I mean, almost 3 full combos here on the side of Philippines from Nathan, Henry, and Hyok. That's scary.
Yeah, a near FC from Henry, just 1 miss. Markram is doing his work, but the rest of his team unfortunately cannot replicate it. But the Philippines, man, God, wow. Hyuk and Nathan Ram completely slaying it, and Henry really close to making the perfect 3-man full combo here for the Philippines. What a dominant map. I was expecting this to maybe be a little bit closer because you still have like Scroll and Game around who are capable on maps like these, but I guess I might have underestimated the Philippines a little bit because they completely destroyed this one.
I feel like this match gets closer and closer as we keep going. All of the picks, other than, so many picks that you'd give it advantage to on some of these teams have been pretty close still. For how much we talked about Philippines having an advantage on that one, I think it was only like 500k. Like, it wasn't that big of a difference, right? So wonder what's left here. I mean, there's still a little bit of weird stuff if Philippines wants to go for that. I mean, that's basically all that's left in this pool here. I would expect Russia to go for DT1 at one of these points, but maybe they're rethinking that a little bit considering the other 2 DTs haven't been in their favor at all. So what's left for them? I think like free mod 3, I guess, for Russia, and then what? I think they're a little bit of in a tough spot here in terms of picks, so I'd be a little bit scared for Russian fans here, I think.
Yeah, it's a scary spot here if you're a Russian fan right now. You do still have Hard Rock 3 potential, but that one is extremely risky because you are gambling on control, hard rock comfort here. The Philippines might not have a staple hard rock team, but control tech, flow tech, mid tech, that is like a staple mapper for this country in terms of style and skill set requirement outside of the hard rock. So hard rock comfort is really what you have to rely on for hard rock 3 to potentially be a pick here for Russia. You could, I think all you've got here is free mod 3 and maybe the normal 4 gamble. But outside of that, man, it's a really tough spot. DT1 is still open
that's all
here
they
for the
go for,
Philippines. But yeah, that's kind of it, really. Philippines are much more flexible.
I would say that, you know, free mod 2 on paper could go well, considering we saw Gamer kind of do a really good run on free mod 1 earlier, but I think that is specifically the kind of map that he doesn't like as much. From my understanding, I think these types of like Axel decel maps, not a big fan of them, so maybe they're not going to go for that one. Free mod 3 going to be picked here as kind of expected, kind of the last thing on the table for them here. So if they lose this one, I think it's a pretty tough situation to be in for Russia here.
Can pretty sure off my mind a old classic here. I don't remember what year this map was made, but it is old, man. It is an iconic old style map. 3 minutes and 50 seconds long. CS4 AR9. No mod is going to make this a little bit dense and a little bit awkward, especially with its really scary jump sections in between what makes this map so well known for its flowing and streams. 200 BPM streams with some just, I think, decently comfortable flow aim. I think it's more the cuts in between the streams and the scary jump sections in between those streams that will make it extra difficult. Outside of that, I don't think the flow aim is too big of a test outside of a few difficulty
ramp-ups. It's really not. It's just,
more the consistency.
It's just the AR on this will make some of the patterns a little bit awkward, but I mean, this is a map that every single person here has played, you know, dozens, if not multiple dozens of times already, right, over the course of however long this map has existed. It's been very, very popular, so definitely not the first time for any of these players. But still, it's a map that looks very innocent because we're also familiar with it, and none of the patterning looks that crazy, but still, everyone still manages to get misses here and there. I think something about, you know, like you said, something about the way the stream patterns are connected is just so old school and not really a thing anymore, and that kind of adds a tiny bit of control element with the low AR on this. So it's a bit of a unique map where everyone is going to feel comfortable, and you know, it being ODA'd as well, you can probably expect a couple of SS runs on this, or if not close to that. But you know, anything can happen on a map like this. We've seen so many just random collapses on just about every pattern in here, especially near the end.
Yeah, this map is consistently scary. It does have a few spikes. I think the most difficult spike for our fellow normal and hidden players are going to be that linear into square jump pattern. That's tripped up a lot of no mod and hidden combos. Hard rock, it's very comfortable, actually. If you're a hard rock player here, as long as you're good with the CS, it's very comfortable. But outside of that, man, if you're a normal or hidden player, that singular square jump could ruin your life. It is tough. So it's a possible pick here for Russia. They've got some good players on this. We're not going to see any overmod from either teams. They're going to be sticking. Both teams are going to be sticking with their core staple players of their respective mods. Hyuk on the hidden, no, not the hidden, Hyuk on the hard rock with Chaconi on the other side of Russia. Markram on the hidden for Russia with Enri on the other side. We're still to be sticking around with our no-mod players here. Nathan Ram on the no-mod alongside, just to make sure I don't butcher it or massively destroy it, and Pauster coming in here for the Philippines. And for Russia, you've got Gamer and Handsome Me making the first appearance in this match.
I would definitely expect Gamer to just throw an SS on this map. Definitely one of the types of players to be able to do that. And the thing with this one too is it's fairly lengthy, and this, you know, first half or so is definitely on the easier side compared to the other half. It's not free, but there's not really much to trip you up here other than just really random misses. So you really have to, you know, be able to keep that combo and keep it going to the hard part in order to really make a difference here. So these early misses, while they may look pretty innocent, I think are going to end up mattering a lot, because that's just, you know, that much combo that you're going to be missing at the end where it's really going to matter here. And right off the bat, two misses off of Markram and Handsome Me here. giving Philippines a little bit of the early lead, but everyone looking pretty comfortable on this one.
We're going to be starting going to a little bit of a ramp up here. You see those slider jumps during the streams and the cuts. This is where we're going to see more of the breaks. It isn't really the flowing, despite it being so present here in this map. As it's starting to come to an end here, it is just Handsome Me and Markram, but the only drops here in this map. Chaconi and Game are still keeping it there for Russia, but for the Philippines, it's a cakewalk for these guys so far. Hyuk, 2043, the one and only Nathan Ram is looking phenomenal with his accuracy here. But it's Gamer to outshine him with 100% accuracy going to this next stream section. This is where we could see that accuracy go down just a little bit here, but no break so far for anybody. Gamer is so consistent on this kind of map. Don't jinx it, Aza. I've jinxed it before. Don't jinx it. There it is. Yeah, I told you. It's gone. So there goes the Yak, but there goes the combo there. Impouster finally going to be the first combo to drop here for the Philippines.
That one is huge, though. You're not going to see the repercussions of that one immediately, but right in the middle of the map here. And you know, Russia kind of on the recovery here. I think, you know, we're going to start seeing this score very, very, very slowly go back over. Not the spot you want to miss at here. I think it's going to end up pretty close here.
Little snappy cross-game jump there, not tripping up anybody. But Russia do objectively have the bigger overall team combo here. And this little stream session could lead to a drop, especially from your hard rock plays. Take a look at this one, because this one could be a big drop from anybody here, but nobody goes down! Finally,
this
the
is where you start seeing a lot of these random misses, though. The spacing increase on this for the remainder of the map
This
here.
is so tense. Russia just have to keep it going as a full four-man squad. Goes Henry. That's a giant combo to go down, but it's traded by Markram and Handsome Me. 2 drops there for Russia for the side of 1FC from Henry.
Oh no, that's big.
It was Gamer. That's the big final nail to seal the coffin here, I think, for Russia. The Philippines with Hyuk and Nathan Ram slaughtering this map, and with Chaconi finally going down, the last hard rock combo for Russia. That's gonna be it. Despite a valiant effort here from both of these teams, man, it is the Philippines who will stand strong with Hyuk and Nathan Ram completely destroying. I think I already said that, but God, this is impressive. This is especially from Hyuk, who not only has to hold on to combo with the hard rock here, which makes the flowing the hardest part for him, but with amazing accuracy to finish it off for the Philippines.
Okay, like both of these hard rock scores are kind of crazy. Every single time this was played, it was always the hard rock players dropping combo. Chaconi with the 1 miss 900s there, almost matching Hyuk, but just not able to keep up at the end. It wouldn't even have mattered. I mean, these scores are insane from both Hyuk and Nathan. Very, very important pick for them to take, and now they're sitting on match point. And we've been saying this a while now, but I mean, Russia's not really got many picks remaining here. They would potentially have one more if they managed to break point on Philippines' pick here, but on what? They lost all their DTs. There's no more speed. There's not really much mechanics here for Russia, so they're gonna have to pull something really weird. They're gonna have to look deep inside that drawer that they don't really go in that often, and then just really look for something weird in there, because I think they're just completely out here. And Philippines on these remaining maps, I think, is going to be looking pretty comfortable. They definitely have full rosters on most of these. I mean, Nomad 5, we don't really know because no one's played it, so there's no precedent. But everything else here, I think, looking pretty good for them. So a very comfortable position for them to be in.
Now, I think some of you may be thinking that Nomad 5 is a good option for Russia if Philippines somehow were to lose their next pick. I don't think so, because Hard Rock 2 is not only lower CS, but on top of that is very old style, very comfortable for Hard Rock mechanics players like Russia. With this Nomad 5, it's a whole different kind of ball game. It's decently slow, but very, very precise and very annoying. And Philippines are going to end it with a banger, it looks like. Ooh. At least that's what they're going to try and do. Mark Roger is going to be what could be the last map in this match for Philippines to seal it for Russia and advance into the winner's semi-stage. This is your Miyuki custom song.
I wouldn't get too excited for this one, though, I think, for the Philippines, because as you've been saying, this is probably, of the remaining picks, this is the one that Russia probably has a decent chance on. And we've seen so many breakpoints here already, so I really do think this could go either way here. And like I said, it's kind of do or die for Russia here. This is winner's bracket, so it's not over for them if they lose this one, but they need to win it if they want to continue with this one.
Yeah, I'm more excited about the map, honestly. Map
Oh,
being
me
played.
too.
yeah. I'm more excited about the map being played because, God, I love this map. And I was thinking that Philippines may play as to steal the deal, but you are right in every regard. Like, this is a dangerous pick. If this was an early stage or mid stage, I would be a lot more concerned. But I think Philippines are confident here. I think Russia have shown great results on the flow tech. They are frightening on this, but Philippines is overall much stronger on tech. Flow tech, not too sure compared to Russia. Yeah.
This map is not that flowy, honestly. There's still so much aim control sections that they're not really present in the kind of flow tech maps that I think you'd be trying to describe for these players being so good on. So I think Russia may be a little bit of a I don't know. We don't really see these types of maps that often. Definitely more of an aim map than a tech map. I think for those players that are going to be comfortable with tech. So I think that's where you're very likely to start seeing some misses here, and it's going to matter every single one of them with how close this match has been so far. Philippines looking to end it on their pick here. They don't want the tiebreaker. It's going to be on Mach Roger, and we'll see how it goes.
A custom song from Miyuki, OWC original. A map mapped by Foe, an incredible map. Great map. And yeah, I think you've hit the description decently well on the head. I think another thing to mention here is that there are lots of really scary cuts. You need a good amount of control and discipline to land some of these patterns here. We're going to see it quite a bit into the Sinto section. You'll see it very soon. But it's divided into a few sections here. You've got that kind of typical staple section of the aim control and a tiny bit of flow. I guess it might not be too flow heavy, but it's still got those little hits of flow aim here and there. But you do have the 1/3 section as well just after that. Big slider jumps here as well. It's kind of divided with different strengths overall. But so far, so good here for both of these respective teams. A big 1/3 section come through. This is where you can see a lot of drops. And there it goes, Henry. That's the only one to drop outside of Imposter. Russia seeming to be holding on to this early lead.
I mean, on the side of Philippines here, you're really banking on Henry and Nathan to do good. So having one of those go down, 100k lead already on the side of Russia, with their 3 FCs still going strong on this one. You aren't kidding. They have a fighting chance on this, and they're really showing up when they need to be halfway in now with a pretty solid advantage, even though Henry and Imposter have managed to recover it a little bit, but still good position for Russia to be in halfway in here.
That one singular break there from Henry is going to be the big outlying disadvantage here for the Philippines. You've still got the 3-pull combos here on the side of Russia. But Impulsor does have that bigger recovery combo here, but Henry's going to go down once again. That's a really tough aspect to deal with here, but we are going into the hardest part of the map. Slider Stream is hit by everybody from Russia. There's still a chance going into this final quarter if somebody drops really soon, but Russia are looking really good into this. There's a double and a triple miss! Oh my god!
Oh my god, they're all down!
There's no way! It's just Welter on the recovery, and on the side of the Philippines, you've got Nathan Ram and Hyuk to bring it back. Welter goes down as well! There's no combo left for Russia! How does this happen to me, Aza? How do I say these things?
What a complete collapse!
It's a complete fall apart there for Russia! And the Philippines, with Hyuk and Nathan Ram in particular, still holding on to their full combos, going to get in second of the map. Big slider jumps to come through. The question more is now, can they end this match in style? Because 300, 400,000 score is immeasurably difficult to come back from. Nathan Ram may fall, but he finishes it off with the FC. Philippines will take Russia down and advance into the winners semi-final stage.
What a way to end it. They just closed the door there. Massive scores from Hyuk and Nathan. Very impressive. But yeah, that complete Russian collapse at the end of that part there, not what you want to see, and it's just happens at a critical moment here on the map they needed to win. It's going to be 6-3. And Philippines, man, they're showing up. They're showing up. It's nice to see. They're going to be moving on up to the semifinals on the top side of the bracket here. Get their top 6. Nice to see after, last year they were looking good but didn't really get too far, and they're looking to make a little bit of a different statement this time around.
Philippines, they've outshone the seed above them. They're going to be pushing over, and they're going to knock Russia into the losers bracket stage. Philippines, I believe, are facing South Korea next, I believe. Is that correct? I think so. I remember hearing that beforehand. But man,
I think we could take a look at the bracket, but I think we're having some issues with it, so I don't think it's going to be showing on screen properly. But I think you're right. Yes,
that is yeah, that's going to be a crazy banger matchup. Can't wait. There we go.
There's not that many like teams left open in winners bracket, right? Whoever you're facing is just kind of hard one. Even you're looking at the other side, and it's Australia. It's just like, well, normally Australia's not that good. Well, they just beat Poland today.
They just beat Poland. Yeah.
That's really scary. Poland looking, number 2 seed, people looking for that team to win it all, and they're already not in semifinals because of Australia. And of course, on the other side, one of the remaining matches of the winner bracket that we got there later today, USA versus Canada. I think a lot of people are looking forward to that one. I think that's going to be the closing match of this week as well. We can take a look at the losers bracket and how that starts to look like here. With a couple of matches that we have remaining. At least I think this is one side of it.
Yeah, so what's going to happen here is that France are going to be facing up against Sweden very, very soon. Later today, I believe at 15 UTC, or maybe a little bit later. Poland are going to be facing up against the loser of USA versus Canada, which will make an amazing matchup. Cannot wait for that. And then you've got Russia, Germany, which is happening as we speak, if not already done. And then the United Kingdom are going up against Chile. That is a great matchup. I mean, God, this World Cup has been amazing with the matches we have had the joy of seeing and the upsets we have had the pleasure of witnessing. Yeah, this semifinals is going to make it even better than this week, and this week was a banger in and of itself.
Yeah, the Russia-Germany is going to be next week. Thankfully, the other match just happened on stream, right? Germany versus Indonesia went 6-2 as well. Managed to end a little bit before this one, but that is such a crazy match. Both of both of those lineups, like Russia, Germany in semis, and then Poland versus the loser of USA Canada in semis. Like, what is happening to this World Cup? Why is every match just a giant banger? And we've got a little bit more to go here. We're going to be taking a little bit of a break, but not too long here. Ukraine versus China, two teams that have been on the come up here. Ukraine a little bit, making a much deeper run that people will give them credit for. I think C24 they're at. Yeah. And looking to enter the top 12 here with already some pretty big upsets last week. So that's going to be happening very shortly. 27 minutes from now, 14:30 UTC. Let's go get some lunch or something. Get some water, Shiba. I think we need it after that one. And don't go too far. We'll be right back with another crazy matchup here.
Thanks, everybody. Much love. We'll see you soon.